All right, so that's where the sowing of the earth already happened there, right there, where it split the back of the dome open, and then it started growing, meaning us. So, anyways, starting the day fresh. Only taking in what's necessary to to get by, basically. Gets a little crazy there with not enough weight here. All right, there's not enough weight on the fibia and the tibia. Um, Often, you know what I'm saying? Because it does patch up. It does patch up like back here and grow like possibly some scar tissue, but it's not going to be scar tissue. All that's being removed, um, and it helps to have the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? The right type of things for the elements there because it's tricky. It's very, very, very tricky with the light and the exposure and something that is pulmonary. haven't been doing a lot of those. Mostly pull-ups and chin-ups, um, and bent over rows, and that's just to get everything, get the blood circulating with weighing down the hip flexors and the pelvis, because that is what is binding the hip flexor, and then the pelvis moves around under the gastrointestinal system and stuff like that, under our Achilles and stuff like that, and it just kind of helps to have that, um, have more support, and you don't have to use it like a crutch, but it does help with building the scapula, the sitting upright position, so you don't have impinging. You know what I'm saying? So that does not start to impinge. Um, and the best advice I really have is don't do too much with your shoulder rolling forward. And put your chest in um, your windpipe in a good place. All right, to open it back up, and rip through the stuff that's not natural. All right, that constantly having to tamper with stuff, messing with hot glass. All right, messing with chemicals, messing with some of this, messing with some of that. We don't want to be doing it. We don't want to be causing some type of problem like that, or even allergies, and things like that, because that's something that's like a sensitive lens, but it's not so sensitive anymore. You know what I mean? So it's not really going to be something that is understood. It has to be kind of balanced like that, with strength and then line of sight, and then building those connections to be stronger, and things like that. So, I mean, me personally, I just do well with fighting oxidative stress. But then we have the limitations there on, what the human eyeball can see, and then it can also see its hip flexor, or I'm sorry, its hip flexor and its pelvic tilt, moving faster than line of sight. You know what I'm saying? So doing a lot of these things of like balancing that, and then teaching the mind what muscle confusion is, all right, and then also understanding the limits of this. If you're not toughing it through with a barbell, using the posterior chain, um, to help carry you and stuff like that, it becomes kind of difficult. All right. Having to deal with the stress. Um, so oxidative stress is a good thing to fight. All right. It's actually what the body does wake up to respond to, as well as acid. And then that's in an acidic environment. All right. So that's nice and warm. And I can move on to pull ups. All right. Focusing on the driving the elbows back to build this. To have the erectors of the spine like that. All right. And then actually build the support. until I can't do no more with a bunch of weight dangling on the posterior chain. It's quite the aggravating fight, though. All right, one more set and then part two.